if we look again, going through the research that you've done, Stefan, what would you say are the main drivers of curiosity at work?
Great question. Curious individuals need curious organizations to thrive. And
vice versa, probably.
And vice versa, absolutely. And often we want to work for curious organizations. Interesting also, there's a 90% growth of the use of the word curiosity in online job ads. So many organizations are becoming aware that curiosity is a good thing. And when I was interviewing people at Merck, the recruitment responsible people there, they told me that in their analysis, the use of the word curiosity appeals to all demographics. So not only the youngsters, but also the older people. And well, if you're looking at words like sustainability, is more appealing to the youngsters than appealing to the older demographic. So somehow the use of curiosity is beautiful. Doesn't mean that all companies, once those youngsters are or anybody comes into the company, these companies are completely ready to drive, or that they're not only kind of welcoming but also nurturing curiosity throughout people's careers. There's still quite some work to be done in many organizations. But what I said earlier, curious individuals need curious environments. It means that curiosity has both an intrinsic and an extrinsic dimension. Intrinsic is how do I show up as a curious individual at work. And so that has to do with me and has to do with agency, etc. But also, on the other side, how much is the organization enabling me through its culture, through its processes and its practices, curiosity from happening. And I think it's a beautiful area of research, because often we assign curiosity to the individual as if the environment has little to say about it. But if you're looking at, for instance, more and more companies are using curiosity as a corporate value. Or changing towards curiosity or exploration or something like it, to say actually at the highest level of our values, that is something we stand for. And then you also have a lot of processes and practices, or maybe to the values. McKinsey, the consulting company, they have one value, and it's the obligation to dissent. So it's not only okay to have a different perspective, it's even an obligation. If you want to make a career in that company, you have to challenge the status quo. You have to come up with new information. You have to kind of, regardless of seniority, you have to challenge your CEO and your seniors, of course with data and with caring and politeness. But that's a requirement for you to move. Or you have many other examples we could talk. And then you have practices. How much are we recruiting for curiosity? And we're talking to a group of HR colleagues here in the podcast. How much do we have curiosity linked to the different touch points that we have with people before they join us? Is curiosity a thing? In many companies, as I just said, it's become an issue. In many companies, I've been told that in many recruiters, they have this negative connotation of curiosity. So training of recruiters, and not only have the job description is important, but also, are we promoting people for curiosity? Or more, are we promoting people for conformity? Let's do a quick thought experiment. Let's see where we're both sitting in a promotion committee, and there's two dossiers on the table. We have Mary and Jeff, and we can only choose one. We don't have budget or opportunities for more. And Jeff is a person who has been overachieving over the last couple of years. Every project that we have asked him to do, he's done it and then some. And for a couple of years, and last time he didn't get promoted, so he's on the table and he has all the rights to be. And then we have Mary. He's also overachieving on many of our objectives. And then last year, she did something that we all supported. She actually volunteered to join a company-wide project on something extremely strategic that even the board was aware. Now, that project failed miserably. She learned a lot, and the company learned a lot. But everybody that was part of that project somehow got tainted. But we realized she's a great performer, and then she stuck out her neck. So she's also on the table. Who would we select to be promoted? And depending on the culture of the organization, and depending on whether your companies are working for startups or scale-ups or grown-ups, there's a different answer. In grown-up companies, what often I hear is that actually we will promote Jeff, if we're really honest. We should promote Mary, but maybe Jeff is the conformist choice. And then the moment you move to scale-ups and startups, then there's a much more willingness to promote Mary. And it doesn't mean that Mary is only about curiosity. Mary is also about performing. So it's kind of both the curiosity as well as the conformity. But then again, that's kind of in the promotion side. And there's many other steps that we can take to create curious workspaces.
In this series, we will be speaking to a range of senior leaders who are pushing a data-driven and digital HR agenda. Make sure that you subscribe via your podcast app of choice and also via our YouTube channel for free and regular interviews with the digital HR leaders of the future.